All right. Um, Hello. Welcome to another episode for those two of you watching out there. Um, there's been some stuff I kind of wanted to talk about this episode, but in a way, I think you know what I mean with the recent events that happened and have been in a way developing as a result of said event. But I kind of want to wait until there's any more information because um, there's a there's a lot of. There we go. Sorry, adjusted. There's just stuff I want to talk about, and some of that stuff I just kind of want to wait later in the week. But today, well, I guess it was technically yesterday. It's 1 in the morning right now. But Charlie Sheen has said he has HIV, and that sucks. Um, you know, saw the interview, and I also saw some people actually, and I researched this too, but there's many people that looked more in depth into this within a matter of mere moments of after his interview, and they composited some videos as well as very uh, well done investigation, I guess, into the whole matter. One thing is, Charlie Sheen does not have AIDS, which many newspaper tabloids say he did, which in magazines that's, but just because, like just to say stuff, just because, why not? Hey, freedom of the press, but sometimes freedom of the press can also lead to people either making things up or hearing something without actually looking into it themselves, and they just take something which turns out to be a complete falsehood, and it's not very good journalism work. But yeah, I'm sure if you look, you can find out about it. Go Google it, or even type in YouTube the Charlie Sheen HIV interview. I'm sure it'll pop up. Actually, it will pop up. I don't know why I say it. Oh, well, maybe because some people, well-known people on YouTube, make a video about it, and perhaps that could be huge. Anyway, I just wanted to say it really does suck that Charlie has HIV, but with his lifestyle, it, it, when I heard the news, aside from thinking that sucks, because it does, anybody that would have HIV would suck, you know. But it's expensive to get treated. He has money, so as long as he takes the proper medicine and anything else that would possibly be needed to help ensure he'll be okay, he should live a healthy life. Magic Johnson was like one of the first big prominent names to come out with HIV in the 80s or 90s, somewhere around there. But yeah, he was one of the first to ever come out with saying he has HIV. And today medicine has gotten even better than back when he said he had it. So, but obviously he got the best treatment too. But there's so many people in the world that have HIV, and that doesn't always mean they have AIDS. They have what could cause the AIDS virus, but it's like once you hear somebody has HIV, people automatically assume they have AIDS without knowing the entire story or all the details, or at least as much detail that one could have to make a correct assumption about what the person had, what the deal is with that person. I know that his lifestyle. I've seen people that basically were like, "Oh, it was kind of a shock or unexpected," and I'm like, obviously, after my first thought of that sucks, and it's sad because it's an illness that won't go away because there's no cure for, obviously. Which is the point I went to make, but then the Magic Johnson thing, I just remembered that he had HIV. And the other thing I wanted to say was, it shouldn't be really that surprising now that he has come out and said he has HIV. And I say that only because now that we know he does have it, with how he lived his life, the drugs, alcohol, and all the sex and unprotected sex he had, it shouldn't be that big of a shock to people. But I know some people I've seen talk about how shocking it is, and I'm like, it sucks, yes, and it's sad, yes, but the way his lifestyle was, no. And then learning how people who he thought were his friends and he trusted then go blackmail him with information for 4 years, since he had this, like, around the time his meltdown happened, his well publicized meltdown, when everybody basically was really paying attention. That was when this was really bestowed upon him. Like, the news was told to him that you have HIV, and from there you can act accordingly. You have to act accordingly. Otherwise, otherwise you'll just get sicker than you already are at that point. Or maybe because I'm pretty sure, like, if you test positive, obviously you're sick, but your condition will worsen. And it sucked that these people we thought were his friends and he could go to all of a sudden want money, because this was a private thing for him until he decided to admit to everybody he has HIV. People were going to go to the press, journal lists, and this and that, just to be like, "Oh, well, I have this on you. If you don't do what I say, I'm going to release this to the public." And he had to pay them off, which really sucks. And it's sad that people you think you can trust, and no, you can't. situation like that sucks. Um, one Something else I wanted to say about this is that, you know, there was he said something about when he first found out during that whole as he puts it, testosterone induced rant he had because of all the drugs and alcohol that all that he consumed so much it was still rattling in his brain that he said perhaps part of it was the HIV. He says he's not claiming at all that was a huge factor, but because when you sick with something like that perhaps could have an effect on everything with the mixture of all the drugs and alcohol he consumed. All that coupled by the fact that he now has HIV could also affect and warp his mind. And that was just not a good situation. People every day, I remember, thought he could die at any minute, in any moment, and we're all documenting his like downward spiral into like madness and this drug-induced madness. That even though he's not on drugs, he took so much drugs that it's just it just stuck in his mind and is in his head, and it isn't really good. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about this. And I think a lot of people see this video. That's for the viewers that watch this. But hey, who knows? That's just what I think. I think I think it sucks and it's sad for him, but it's also not very surprising. You just take a look at that period in his time, and also even before then, he was known for having sex with a lot. Anyway, it was no real. It shouldn't be a huge surprise to anybody, but to some it is, and it shouldn't be a huge shock. I mean, the fact that I guess he could be shocked that he has HIV, but to the point of being shocked and surprised of not really knowing what. How would that happen? Because that's how some of those people were acting, and I'm just like, you really should. It's not a huge shock, basically. At the end of it all, it isn't a big, huge surprise now that we know he has HIV. Obviously, I hope he continues doing well and keeps taking the medicine he needs to combat this disease. It's not a very good disease. Obviously, a lot of people have it, but with treatments and medicine, you can live a healthy, normal life. But the only downside is it's very expensive. Like the treatments and medicine is fairly, it's not cheap, basically. Plus, it also depends on where you live. Obviously, I live in America, but different states will prices will vary, particularly about the certain economy of said state. I would imagine, at least, because that would kind of make sense, right? Here I am talking about the economy, one of these things. Ooh. But yeah, that's all I have to say. And later this week, I will have another video about a certain event, unfortunate event that happened last week. I just kind of want to see what more comes out of it before I, you know, delve into that. But I just kind of wanted to come up and say something here and just have it at that. And I think that about does it. I don't really have anything else to say, so I'm just kind of rambling at this point. Peace out.